Now let's talk about working with your own data. To do that, you'll need the Import tab. The FellStreet Plate Viewer includes a powerful and flexible data parser that can handle most text and CSV file formats. Start by selecting Meta Parser Dynamic, then import an example plate file by pressing the Import button and navigating to your unparsed instrument file. Once it's loaded, check what's been imported. You'll want to confirm a few key things: the plate name, the date modified, and the column separator. Make sure these match your file. Now take a look at the grids or plate blocks and make sure everything's been captured correctly. Check that the data displayed in the main panel looks as expected. If it all looks good, go ahead and save this parsing definition by clicking Save As and giving it a name. You'll be prompted to apply this definition. Accept that. Then, if needed, rename your grid labels and save again. Before doing a bulk import, you can preview the rest of the files in the folder. Use the arrows at the bottom of the pane to navigate through them. You may need to minimize the message bar to see the navigation area clearly. Keep in mind, all files must use the same format. You will need to process different formats separately. Now that you've defined your parsing template, you're ready for bulk loading. First, clear the current file and data. Then select the parser you just saved. You can now load all plates in the dataset. Press the bulk button, then select the folder that contains your unparsed data. After that, select an appropriate destination subfolder in the data folder. You can also create a new folder during this step if needed by right-clicking in the File dialog and selecting New Folder. When the import completes successfully, you'll see a confirmation message that all files were parsed and none failed or were skipped due to other checks. But let's look at what happens when files don't match. In this example, we've included a few plates in different formats and even some random files that don't contain plate data at all. The parser definition includes number of grids and grid dimension. If a user wants to parse a different format, they'll need to create a separate definition. If we try to process our mixed files with our current definition, we'll get error messages as we see here. After acknowledging this message, go to the Messages area to see what happened. As we take a closer look, you may want to expand the Messages area. Here's what we find. FileList.txt was just a list of file names, so no plate grids or plate blocks were found. The next plate could be parsed, but had only one grid, when two were expected. It also failed the plate dimension check. Another plate had the correct number of grids, but again, it was in a 1536 format, 32 by 48, instead of the expected 384 format, 16 by 24. So it failed that check. Lastly, a .bat file failed because it didn't match the expected file extension and was skipped altogether. All of these failures were expected. Strict parsing rules are enforced on purpose to prevent users from accidentally loading mismatched or corrupted data. Once complete, the successfully parsed data will now be available in both the View and Plate Gallery tabs.